name is Bob Wilson. I'm from Texas, Waco, Texas, the heart of Texas. And it's great to be here in Georgia. Okay, sure, go ahead. Well, I have been invited a number of times and somehow it never worked out. So I came here because I have some friends that are from Georgia, and I love the music, the Georgian music, and I especially like the food. Stage is a picture. Behind the picture, we hear text. The ancient theater was always mask, and behind a mask, we heard text. So in a sense, that's what I do. I make an image, and then within this image and behind the image, we hear something. Shakespeare is not a language you would speak at home. It's not a language you would speak in a restaurant. It's not a language that I would speak with an interview, but it's a language that's written for the stage. Shakespeare is perhaps the greatest playwright ever. I never liked naturalistic theater. To be on stage is something artificial. And what fascinates me about theater is that it's another world. And it's not the world that I see on a street. You don't speak the same way that you speak in a restaurant or the way I'm speaking with you. Theater has a special language. Theater it brings all the arts together: painting, sculpture, dance, music, light.
Und reinste Treu am Pranger steht dabei.
What's fascinating about Shakespeare is that it's full of meanings. And I always find it boring and rather stupid when people make interpretations of Shakespeare. They fix it on an idea. Shakespeare is full of ideas. So you can read The Tempest one night and think about it one way, but the next night you can read it and think about it another way. So it's full of multiple ideas.
Frech gemacht.
It's formal, so the first time I do something is free. For me to be able to do that again takes many hours of rehearsal in order that it becomes mechanical or becomes free again. This kind of theater that I make, the mind is a muscle, and if that muscle is trained, then it can happen without having to think so much about it. And I find that most theater is too much in the head, and so you've got to figure out what is this guy thinking about before you have your own ideas. I don't speak the same way. I don't sing the same way that I sing in a shower. You know, I don't stand the way I stand on the street waiting for a bus. The stage is different than any other space. A formal theater is not outwardly expressed, it's inwardly felt. I touch the crystal of my watch and it's cool. I touch my forehead and it's warmer. That's truth. I don't have to express it if I feel it. Video portraits are like a window in the room. It's like a fireplace in a room. And I usually, when I enter a room, I turn the TV on with no sound. And I like it. It changes. And, it's like looking out a window and it's dark and then it's light, or there's a storm, no storm. And so my portraits are like still lives. I usually ask the actor or the participants just to stand or to sit for a period of time. As long as you're living, you're moving. And all movement is first realized in stillness. And if you then move outward, it's only an extension of the movement that is already there. In a formal situation, I think you begin to listen in a different way. You begin to see in a different way. You begin to move in a different way.
I have nothing.
Politics will always divide men. Religion will always divide men. Look at the world situation. We're divided because of those reasons. Art has the possibility of uniting people. Art is one of the few things that will exist throughout time. So we can go back to the time of Shakespeare. We don't think so much about the political situation of the time, but we're still reading the words. Today, with the current world situation, with the wars at hand, I think of the Afro-Americans, a race of people that were enslaved, beaten, chained, not allowed to read a book except the Bible, wrote a body of music in the Negro spirituals that are about hope. And that's the great function of what art can do. It can bring us together. It's like fire. It can destroy you or it can warm you. I'm waiting for the next second. I like what Gertrude Stein said, the American author. I said, "Oh, Miss Stein, what will you do next?" She says, "I think I'll have a glass of water."